We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
and I'm Jill DeWitt, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2234. Today, Jill and I are talking about adding houses to your land investment operation in 2025. Boy, this is not an ultra new topic for us, but the further we get into this year, the more important I think it is.
It might save your business.
That's what I think.
Keep food
It's
on the table.
it's
kind of a little thing that's important to me. I don't know about you, but I always want to make sure there's food on the table.
This isn't the first recession where things have slowed down in the land business, and Jill and I have turned to houses to do well. Mm-hmm. We did it times 10 in 2009, and we're doing it now again. Not because it's our favorite asset class to flip or invest in, because Jill needs to eat, I guess.
I'm the only one. You know what would be really funny? Let's pause for a moment. And let's mention a few things that we've thought about or have pivoted to in the past 15 years that were not so profitable.
Sure.
I got one.
Sure.
Pizza.
Yeah, that comes up too often.
I know. Pizza, buying a bar. Not that we did it. We went down the path.
We didn't pull the trigger on most of these.
Yeah.
A lot of offshoots. You know, most notably, and it gets no attention, is products that we have started that we thought would enhance our land investment business and yours, consequently. And there's just some of them that they didn't take off. One is Title Mind. People still bring it up. You know, it's our version of closing escrow for people who don't want to get title insurance. This is a lot of years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's not.
It didn't work in that form.
We had to close it down because it was so popular.
We couldn't handle it.
So what ended up happening is we were getting all these deals that people couldn't close on their own. And really nobody can close them because they were really intense legal type scenarios that were associated with the property.
I'm going to keep you on the topic. Let's just lightly talk about things that funny, crazy things that we've tried, just to say we know of what we speak today when we say don't do this to fill in any land sales gaps.
Oh, that's your point.
That's my point. Not go down the rabbit hole you were going down, which is lovely, but thank you. Like pizza, we had a mint. We've thought about a bar. We thought about other various restaurants.
You can't just say we had a mint.
We did.
And just move on.
It was really kind of cool.
Jill and I started a full-blown gold and silver processing
operation.
mint.
It was great.
It was freaking awesome.
It was a little bit of a distraction.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
So that's what happens. So we'll talk more about houses here in a minute. But what you have to be careful of is when you start looking around other things to do, then if it's not kind of tied to your business, your core business, it could be a big distraction and then end up pulling you away more than you need to go or you should go. And I'll leave it at that.
Well said.
Thank you.
All week today, this week, we're talking about off-market real estate. It's off-market week. You already know the topic for today. Monday, Tuesday, we're going to talk about can you flip land with no money down? Wednesday, why double closing land rarely works and what does work, what's better. Thursday, the best way to find off-market land deals in 2025. Can't wait to talk about that personally. And then Friday, it's our first Friday of doing Off-Script Friday with Jack and Jill.
What does that mean?
It means I'm going to ask you some questions. You're going to ask questions for me. It's not necessarily about land itself, but it's about where do you want to go in life? Are you upset with the choice of men that you...
Well, I'm writing things down
like
now, thinking now that you've opened that door. I will have a laundry list by the time we get to Friday. We might need more than the usual time.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum. Take a deep dive into land-related topics by your requests.
Okay, Ronnie wrote, I've been buying and selling land for several years with pretty good success. My business has slowed down in the last few months.
Yep.
I hear you talk about houses. What are the biggest differences in buying and selling land and houses? I love this question. Can we roll it into the topic?
Yeah, that's
good.
exactly why I chose it.
Excellent.
Today's topic, adding houses to your land investment operation in 2025. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh.
Hey, this assumes that you have a
Well,
land investing operation.
Well, I have 3 points to make, and I will talk about those a little bit. I'll hand it to you, and then we'll make sure that we ask. I think we will. What was name was it again? Ronnie. I'll make sure that we answer Ronnie's question in that. So, adding houses in 2025. Why the heck would I do it? Well, like Ronnie's talking about, it's just kind of you need another property type. Land might be slowing down, but houses aren't. And if you're good at if you're a land academy and been cruising along and know what you're doing here, know how to find areas, know how to pick things, know how to run your red, yellow, green tests, and see how it's trending. Like, wow, look at this is a good place to, where people are buying houses. Same way you look at land, you got this. So, my point is diversification is always good. I really want you to be open to it. Number 2, you're going to learn. What's better than learning a whole new property type, getting a little bit out of your comfort zone, going, oh gosh, I didn't even think about this. I got to turn on utilities for this thing. I just bought a house and I got to get insurance. So there's other things that you have to think about that we do not consider or even worry about or think about with rural vacant land. And then my third point I want to make is the Land Academy way of doing it is key. So maybe I'll hand it to you now to take over and explain what we mean by that.
I love learning.
You do.
I love learning about new stuff. I like new challenges. And so I think there's probably a certain percentage of people out there listening saying, oh, now I got to do houses? I don't think that's a good attitude.
I just mastered this. Yeah.
I think that, right when we started buying and selling land, I couldn't sleep. I was so excited. This is a million years ago. I bought and sold that first property and telling myself, geez, all I got to do is repeat this about 10,000 times and I'm all set. And that ended up happening, literally. So with houses, we've bought and sold a lot of houses, made a bunch of mistakes, cleaned them up too much, renovated them too much, put too much time and money in and then got some money out. We've never had any catastrophic financial mistakes buying and selling houses, and certainly not with land, but it's totally different. And here's how. Here's a biggest picture differences between the two. When you find an asset, and we find the assets exactly the same way that we do with land, we do the red, green, yellow test. We make sure the price that we do our due diligence, it's all the same. Very, very, very similar. So once you find that asset, though, you have to add the actual physical inspection. That's a little bit different. So physical inspection of land doesn't happen too much. We do it, if at all, in most cases, we do it from our desk. Or we have somebody out there to take pictures. With a house, you need to seriously inspect it. You need to have a licensed inspector look at it. So once you've done that and the numbers work, because the numbers already work before you even get to that point, how much that house is going to sell for. That's the difference, the huge difference between buying and selling land and houses. With land, I'm not sure. There's a range. The house next door should be valued this way. I'm not 100% sure of the demand. I can look at statistics in a housing market very quickly and see in a zip code how fast a house is going to sell that is 1,800 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths or more, has a 2-car garage, and was built in the 80s. I can tell you almost plus or minus 5% how long it's going to take if it's priced the way that it's priced. And pricing it and valuing these types of housing assets is crazy simple. There's no guessing. The last 10 houses in the last 30 days that have those statistics I just ran off sold for between $380,000 and $420,000, and I'm buying this asset for $220,000, $280,000. I know it's going to happen. So it's really easy once you secure the property and get it purchased to resell it. What's harder and more expensive and more time consuming and more talking on the phone to sellers is getting the price that you want for a property where it's going to sell. You have to send out more mail. You have to manage more inbound flow, and you have to talk. It takes more mail and more time to find somebody who just doesn't want the house anymore. We just went through it on a property, and it was picture perfect scenario. We got the property for exactly the amount of money that we wanted, and the guy that was selling it to us didn't care.
Right.
He didn't have any debt, and his wife recently passed away, and he was moving back east.
True.
So it when you get the asset, it's smooth sailing.
Right. I would like to add the Land Academy way of flipping houses is not building a garage and putting in a pool because we're going to add the value kind of thing. Nope. It is in its current condition. We buy it for X price and then we sell it in that same condition. We don't even sweep the floor. So that's another key thing that I want to make sure you understand and know, because again, we're buying it for, I don't know, $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, you know, depending on the market, below what we know we can sell it for in its current condition. So we sell it to somebody else who's either going to do it themselves, you know, or they are a flipper. Like they're the HGTV guy that wants to go in and make it beautiful and then try to make even more money off of that. That's what we do.
You know, Jill's totally right. Our methodology, proven methodology over decades and decades, and thousands of present and past Land Academy members, it's proven, is to use data-driven decisions. Yeah. Get the data, capture it. You know, it's really interesting. Jill and I just bought a sailboat, and it's on the Pacific Ocean. And the first thing I did was try to find somebody on the internet that makes data-driven decisions about sailing, and all the things that surround that. And we did. We found a couple of people, and the methodology, the tools they use online, about what path to take. They're even using AI and things like that for predicting weather. It's the same deal here. You'd be crazy, I'll leave it with this, not to add houses to your land investment operation, especially if you're buying and selling land and it's slowing down a little bit. It's pretty much the same thing. There's just a few things you need to teach yourself. And look up houseacademy.com.
That's what I was just going to say. I forgot to even mention that. By the way, we are houseacademy.com. Yeah. If you really want to learn about it, go there.
Yep. Join us tomorrow where Jill and I discuss, can you really flip land with no money down? You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.